you introduce yourself and give us a brief background on your musical journey?
I'm Chris. This is Tim. We are The End Is Near. Our background, we started in a band called One Mark, One Mission. If you remember that, you're as old as us.
Sure. How does your back feel? Because mine hurts.
Yeah.
And if you know that band, then your back probably hurts too.
Yeah, and your neck and knees.
Yeah, Chris and I met 20 plus years ago. We grew up playing and attending shows in the Orange County and Inland Empire hardcore scenes. Our paths crossed when Chris joined our band One Mark, One Mission.
From a MySpace post.
That's true. Yeah, from MySpace from back in the day.
Yeah.
And we got into a van and went on multiple tours together, and when you do that with anybody, you're going to build a bond. And Chris and I have kept in touch for 20 plus years and have connected, multiple times over the decades. And, it's only fitting that this project is coming together right now when it is, because him and I have had our eyes set on starting a new project for a while. And the fact that it's happening now, it feels like the time is right. So we're excited.
What is the name of your new project and what does it signify?
The name of our new project is The End Is Near. And I think that it's got multiple meanings for us. Individually and collectively, and I think you can extrapolate your own meanings from the name. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it relates to so many different things. It's kind of a satirical sort of thing in my own eyes. Growing up and getting older and dealing with mental health stuff, anxiety and whatnot, you kind of sometimes always have this feeling like the end is near. So it was kind of like a play on words on sort of the way that I feel sometimes, and I know so many other people out there do as well. But it also has other meanings, like we're living in periods of uncertainty right now. The world is in turmoil, and the internet makes it seem like everything is on fire, and the end is near every day that you open your eyes. We know that it does have a little bit of a doom and gloom sort of sound to it, but the satire and the meaning is there for us. So we hope you guys dig the name as much as we do. The end is near.
Can you walk us through your songwriting and recording process?
The process started, Tim had a lot of instrumentals done that he had sent to me, and I started listening to him, and lyrics kind of just started flowing. So it worked really well in that sense, and now the process is evolving a little bit more with, like, Tim's really good at interpreting my ideas, whereas, like, I'm not really like, oh, this chord, it's more like a gin, and he interprets it into, like, actual music.
Yeah. Yeah, our collaboration has gotten like more intertwined throughout the process. I feel like originally it started out with me providing instrumentals and Chris like writing awesome lyrics in a really, really quick turnaround. And now that we are spending more time together and getting into this project, we're both starting to collaborate on both sides of the equation, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
Chris and I have always worked well musically. We've always gotten along so well. It's only fitting for us. I was thinking about this actually, and it's kind of cool. And I don't know if you've thought about this at all, but in any of the music projects that Chris and I have been in the past, we were kind of like the young guys in a band that was run by older dudes.
Yeah. Their input was not necessarily needed.
No, even though we did write lyrics, we wrote music, we did not have full creative control. This will be the first project of Chris and I working together where we have full creative control over the vision, and I think that it's really going to serve us well in the long run. Already what we've done and what we have to share with you guys upcoming that we have in the pipeline, I think you guys will agree that our vision is definitely something worth paying attention to.
Yeah.
Who are your biggest musical influences and how have they shaped your sound?
Loaded question.
Yeah.
So many to name. Individual bands, I mean, we can go through genres. Chris and I, when we started this project, we kind of thought about it in the guise of let's write a record that we would want to hear.
Yeah. And
that encompasses so many different micro and subgenres of the metalcore lane that I feel like what we have is really eclectic. Anything from like Swedish death metal type riffs, beat down hardcore, straight metal, deathcore, even some like black metal influence and doom influence. It's kind of I don't want to say it's all over the place because it sounds like one cohesive project from one band.
Yeah.
But I think in what we're writing, there's something for everybody, regardless of where you fall on the spectrum of this genre and what your personal tastes are. But to answer the question and just to name a few bands, right? Like at the gates, I've always been super influenced by Swedish death metal riffs. I love Darkest Hour. I love the Black Dahlia Murder. Those are all bands like the guitar work I've always respected and loved of those bands.
Yeah.
Beatdown bands like Bury Your Dead, New Jersey Bloodline.
Collectively, we share the Pantera influence that's always been a big staple in our music, period. For me, vocally, my biggest influences are Phil Anselmo, Chad from Mudvayne, Corey Taylor, lyrically like Chris Barnes. Yeah, I mean, I could go all day on my influences.
Yeah.
What can listeners expect from your debut release?
Brutality and just aggression and just heavy shit.
Yeah. We're coming out swinging with the first track.
Oh, yeah.
The first track that we're going to be dropping is it's got so many different types of influence in terms of the track itself, but the lyrics are so hard hitting, and I feel like sonically the mix is so great. Yeah, I think that we're doing ourselves justice by releasing our first song. Our first single is going to be called "The Void." It'll be out on July 12th. You can pre-save it on Spotify if you want to hear kind of the sound that we're going for.
Yep. Pre-save it.
Pre-save it.
Do you have any plans for live performances or tours?
In the future, hopefully, yes. That depends on demand, I think. And you know, like we said, go on Spotify, run those numbers up. So hopefully by this time next year, we can be playing.
Yeah. Chris and I have an extensive live music background from our time playing in bands when we were younger. I went on and tailed off and produced and engineered a lot of dubstep music and got to tour and play around the country doing that for a while. So yeah, the appetite is there. We've always, when we start a project, it's with the intent for us to play live.
Oh yeah.
I think we're trying to be a little bit smarter this time around, and instead of us just spinning our wheels in the local circuit at the beginning, is for us to use the internet to our advantage and try to build some demand so that we can be incentivized to put together a live show. Already some of the ideas that we have to incorporate into a live show is stuff that is, I think, something to be really excited about. Yeah. And so, yeah, if you want to see us live, support us in any way that you can. You know, stream our music. If the demand
plays up,
run those plays up. If the demand's there, we'll be playing in a city near you for sure.
How can fans stay connected with you and your music?
The official Instagram is The End Is Near OC.
Mm-hmm.
You can find both of us on Instagram.
Yep. T-Bakes BFU here.
Boss Rotten.
Yeah. You guys can hit us up individually or hit up the music page. We'll be engaged with anybody that wants. Eventually, I think we'll start a Patreon as well so that we could be even more connected with the people that want to support and follow us. And yeah, we're not shut-ins here. We're two pretty social guys, and we would love to connect with anybody that wants to chat music, chat anything, wants to be involved in this project in any way, shape, or form. So hit us up.
Especially if you're a drummer.
Oh.
What does this project mean to you personally?
Everything. It really is everything. It's my whole point in music from the get-go when I was a kid was to one record really is all I really wanted to do, and now we're able to do it, and it means a lot to be able to put the lyrics I want to put onto a record and say the things I want to say, let loose of the demons and things that bounce around in my head, be able to put them on paper and then record them in a booth and hopefully have even one person connect with what I'm saying. And
yeah, the numbers don't matter. Nothing, we're doing this for ourselves in so many different ways, right? Like, it's one thing that Chris and I have connected on multiple times in strategizing and putting this project together. one of my goals that I've set out to do. I've released hundreds of singles. I've released dozens of EPs. I've never had my name attached to a full LP, a full album.
Yeah.
And that's something that we have set out to do. And, you know, we've got a full LP's worth of music, and we're going to be working our way to dropping that for you guys to listen to. So it means everything. This project is therapy. This project is sanity. This project is so meaningful in so many different ways. And, you know, one of the things that I really think that I can say, and I don't want to speak for Chris in this regards, but, you know, one of the things that Chris and I talked about when we first started putting this project together was reminiscing on all the awesome shit that we've been able to do because of music.
Yeah.
All the great bands that we've been able to tour with when we were younger that have gone on to do such big and great things. And in some ways, that conversation kind of reminded me of like, yeah, man, we were living in the past a little bit with the shit that we have done when we still have shit that we can do.
Exactly.
And I think that's what this project is all about. You know, I'm ready to put, you know, our best foot forward and really try to put our stamp in this music and this culture that I feel like we were a part of help creating. And yeah, that's why it's important.
This record's basically just gonna be a love letter to heavy music.
Yeah.
Whatever genre or subgenre or whatever the fuck of heavy music you like, you will find something on this record.
Yeah, this music, in so many ways, I can say has saved my life.
Yeah.
The community that I've built through this music, the amount of like-minded individuals I've connected with and have been able to relate to. And I feel like the counterculture of this music is important for not only us, but all the future generations out there that are coming up and dealing with the same sort of problems in life, or feeling like outcasted, or that you don't fit in. And we found our place to fit in, and we were lucky enough to do that at a pretty young age. And so if we can contribute to that culture in any way, I think that it's something that we would be proud to do.
Hell yeah.
Growing up, what bands have you guys played with and toured with?
A lot, actually. Our first tour was Winds of Plague and Suicide Silence.
That sounds right. That was a little mini run that we did. And then we ended up going on tour with Winds of Plague and Suffocate afterwards.
Yeah.
That was this awesome tour. Then we went on tour with Suffocate and Misericordium. Shout out to the homies in Suffocate. I mean, I know that there's been a lot of member changes in that band, but man, did we have some fucking good times back in the day. Rest in peace, Carlos.
Yep. Shout out Misericordium too. What up, Nick?
Yeah, Nick from Misericordium. Shit, we toured with As Hope Dies. And, and Winds of Plague.
Yep.
That was an awesome tour.
Played a lot of hometown shows with Stick to Your Guns.
Yeah. Suicide Silence, we mentioned it. You know, those were the homies. We used to, you know, play with them all the time out at IE shows, that fucking pizza parlor in Indio.
We actually shared a label for a short time. Shout out Bygone Industries if anybody remembers that shit.
Yeah, that's a
throwback.
That's a throwback for sure. Yeah, dude, it kind of feels like we're name dropping right now, but you know, at least we are. Yeah, we are in some ways. Yeah, dude, we played with Death Before Dishonor. We played with
Shattered Realm. We played the Eulogy tour.
Ramallah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been fortunate enough to be on some really awesome shows growing up, and we look forward to being on some similar lineups again in the future.
Hell yeah.
All right, thank you guys. That's all the questions I have. Is there anything else you guys want to mention?
July 12th, The Void. The end is near.